Hello, good day to all of you. My name is Blair and welcome to another OS operating system. Today we're going to take a look into the Tumbleweed OpenSUSE distribution. Okay, so this is for the desktop, server, and everything in between, but we will just gonna use this for the desktop. So I gonna click this one, Tumbleweed, and this is where we download the operating system. So as you can see, this is state of the art because this is the cutting edge, and not only for desktop but also for the servers, but I'll be focusing only for the desktop operating system. Tumbleweed is not like the other OpenSUSE, which is you have to install every time there is a new version. Right here in Tumbleweed, it is rolling release and it is stable. At the same time, it is continuously update, so you don't have to worry about like every 6 months you have to upgrade your operating system. And this is the leading edge, which means is always having the updates available, and it is always like in a fresh and very modern type of operating system, which is you could like use it anytime, anywhere, and it is stable, which means it has tested again and again, always testing it, just like me. Okay, so giving my honest opinion, and if there's some bug, I also reported it. And it is simple to use. That is the very important thing, because if it is gotta be complicated, people don't flock into your distro if it is complicated. So maybe it's gonna be like an exclusive club. So the hardware at the same time, it plays nice because this is the leading edge and it has go through the different test before it is released, and it is safe, which means there's nothing unwanted. Like if you have some problems, you will be like blocked into the update. So in this particular operating system, it is always the best way not to like having some problems. What I mean. So it is also secure and powerful, and it is also for gaming. That's why Steam is one of our distro right here in Linux, and it has very good developers all the time. So the website is get.opensuse.org, and if you want to go to Tumbleweed, just click right here on the top tab, or you could like type it just like this one, get.opensuse.org/tumbleweed. Okay, so just click right here and download for your AMD and Intel processor, for your desktop, laptops, and servers. It's all in one. This one is for the ARC64 architectural design, and the IBM, which is S390X. But of course, if you're using just the AMD, Intel, the regular laptops, you could like use this one. If you have regular laptop running in 32-bit, of course you have to use the i686, which means the architectural design. Don't forget, if you want to download it, you have to set the download into the download folder, just like in Windows or in Mac. So just like this one, I always put it in our download folder. Oh, I have the Tumbleweed already, but this is the old one, so I need to download it and wait for it to reach 100%, and then let's take it into a spin into our virtual machine. Wow, that is a rhyme, y'all. So let's wait until it reaches 100%. Now we're back in our OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, and I just went outside for my dinner, and now it is already finished. Let me open that one. Yes, it is already finished just a while ago, and I think the internet is so sluggish, but anyway, I think it's about the storm that we have. So let's go to our boxes, our virtual machine, and add our ISO file. And of course, this is our Tumbleweed, which is the latest version. This is the July 18, so I have to use the July 18 version and put it on the virtual machine. I'll put about like maybe 8 gigabytes of memory space or RAM, and this will be about like maybe I'll put about like 70 just to make it sure. And okay, I was just gonna do like that. Okay, so let's maximize this one. We have the installation, the boot from hard disk or more. Let us see. Okay, this is for the upgrade installation. So let's install this one in our virtual machine. Let's hit enter. Now it is running information and installing. Okay, so as you can see, we are now installing it. Basically, it's loading the basic drivers. Cool and awesome, right? Tumbleweed, the OpenSUSE. So instead of the live boot, it's just straight into installation. Okay, we have workspace 1. This is now the installation process. As you can see, we have all the networks right here. Let's wait to load up and then let's proceed next after it will be available. Now it has the next button. So this is the language. Okay, English. Okay, I'm okay with that one. Let's try to hit enter. Now online YaST 2, yes, activate it. Now let's download the repositories. So source, debugs, and all those stuff. It's just okay with me. Okay, it is asking for the desktop environment that we'll be using. I'll be using the KDE. I prefer the KDE compared to the GNOME or XFCE or the generic. It is just okay. Or if you have the small package like the server, it's just okay. So I'll be using KDE. This is where I prefer the desktop environment. So I'll proceed next. So it is now asking for suggestion. This will be okay, be allowing that. If you ask me why is it VDA, so this is the virtual, okay, virtual dist A. So I'm using the virtual dist A instead of the SDA, so it is not a storage disk A, but of course it will be the virtual. Okay, let's continue next. And the YaST 2 synchronizing the server. Oh, now it is asking where are we. Okay, so I prefer right here in Asia because of course I'm here in Asia. I'll be using Manila. Can we use my hometown Iloilo? No, I think they could not. Okay, let's cancel that one. So Manila will be okay. Now it is our username. I'll be using my username, brand name, and the password will be just fine, 4 characters. I'll be okay with that one. So using the password to be the admin and auto log in. Auto log in, I prefer the not the automatic. I like, but for sake of our viewers, I'll just gonna use this one. I think it is much easier, right? Especially the new user. Let's check. Oh, too short. Okay, it's just okay. I'm okay with that. Now it is the summary. So let's install and confirm installation. Start installing now. So the interface of the OpenSUSE Tumbleweed is so awesome. It has a very good installation process. I think this is one of the candidates of the really like rolling stable release. It is not so fast like cutting edge that they don't check everything. This is the cutting edge that has a stable desktop. I think this is one of the highly recommended operating system from Linux and GNOME, the GNU Linux operating system. So let's wait until it reaches 100% and then let's proceed to the initial boot. I hope they have the welcome page. Anyway, let's wait. Okay, it is now rebooting. As we all know, it has options, so we'll use, of course, the initial boot of the OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. Let's click enter. Okay, now it is adjusting the display, which is correct display. It is the 1080p. Now we are now in the initial boot, and this is their welcome page or welcome app. So let's click right here. So ahoy, this is OpenSUSE. So they have the basic documentation, get software support that you could like contribute, build OpenSUSE, and of course help by donation. So feel free to check it out as we close this welcome app. Now let's have our desktop user interface. So the desktop user interface, of course, I'm using the KDE Plasma desktop environment. We have the start button right here. This is the start menu, quick launch. So we have the settings, the discover, which is our software center, plus the Dolphin, which is the file manager, and the Firefox web browser. On the other end, we have the notification that is including our sound level or volume level. We have the display and the internet connection that we have, plus the hidden information or the hidden status and notification. Okay, and the time and date, of course. So we also have the icons right here. So when we click this one, it opens the Dolphin file manager. As you can see, we have the desktop, document, download, music, picture, video, and trash. And of course our device, which is the 70 gigabytes and divided into different EFI and all those stuff, you know. So that is why it just only have 68 gigabytes. And instead of the SDA for the storage disk drive A, now we have the virtual drive A, because of course we are using Linux just like in Mac. So if you're wondering, Mac and Linux are cousins. Yes, it is, but of course in Android it is also cousin of Linux, but it has different structure of their file manager. Okay, so let's close this one. The trash, it's right here, and by right clicking the mouse you have the ability to change the desktop wallpaper. So when we click that one, we have the default and the coast, and of course this is just minimum, so you could like download this one to get more wallpaper. If you want to look into different types of wallpaper, you could use this one. Like for example, I like this one. I have to install with or without logo. I'll have the no logo. And after it installed, let's click the wallpaper so that we could see it in action. Okay, use. There you have it. Nice, right? So no logo. I choose the no logo. Okay, if you want to add more, of course, just click right there again. We have the white sir. Okay, it's like Mac. Let me close that one. If you have some pictures, of course, you just click that one and just put it on the picture folder. If not, in download or maybe in the documents, but most of our pictures are in the download and the picture folder. Okay, let's close that one. And of course, more settings for our wallpaper and appearance. Of course, go to right here down. You have the wallpaper plus the themes right here. You could change the icons if you wanted to. You could always download the new icons, the new decoration, if you want to look like this, or maybe let me see, do you want to have no border? Okay, it's really up to you. And get new something decoration, you could download right here. So you could also change. Cool, right? And let's go back to the appearance and go to the fonts. We have the fonts right here. So in general, we have the Noto Sans. The size is 10, so you could change this one to whatever you want. Okay, let's go back again. Animation. Do you want to have a animation? It's really up to you. So you could also download this one. For example, the glitch. I like the glitch when I close it, so I could like use that one. So I could not find the wobbly windows, so I'll just gonna look for that one maybe next time. You have the options right here, like the blur effects, the magnify, even the mouse animation. So that is our desktop user interface with appearance, right? So let me go back to the default wallpaper. So now let's go to the application. Okay, so the application, we start with the application in all. We have the all apps. We also have the categorized like the development, education, games. You could download more if you wanted to. Okay, you have the graphics, help, internet. They're using the Firefox web browser as their default web browser, and the VLC media player, which is also popular in Windows and Mac. Yes, that is actually a Linux app. We also have the Office right here, LibreOffice as their default Office suite system right here. Utilities and lost and found. Okay, so let's try to check out the software center, which is they're using the KDE Discover. Let me see. For example, I'm looking for a only Office desktop editor, so I have to click that one, install it, download it, right? And let's wait to reach 100% and check it out after. Of course, I need to enter my super secret password and click OK. Okay, we reach our 100%. It is now installed. You could also use this one for Windows and Mac without the internet connection. Okay, so it is much better. Let's zoom in. Of course, it is available in Windows, Mac without internet connection. Okay, so let's launch it. and minimize this one first. You could also find this one right here in the Office category, which is something new. Yes, we just installed. Okay, so this is the only Office suite. So you have the document, spreadsheet, presentation, and PDF. You can edit and form a PDF in real time. So this is not like Windows or Mac that you have to pay. This one, it is absolutely for free, nothing to pay, nothing to be like afraid of. And if you want to change the theme, go to the settings right here in the bottom and then change it. For example, I like the modern dark. I'll just click apply. There you have it. Or contrast dark, like that. Or you have the just plain dark, right? So it is easy to your eyes, not so hurting, right? So let's open to have the example. So as you can see, this is the layout of our document for our spreadsheet, even the presentation, the PowerPoint presentation, and the PDF. See, it's PDF right here, not document. Okay, docx. Okay, so all in one, so you don't have to be like scared to use it. Okay, let's close this one. That is how our software center. Another, if you want to have another example, for example, you want to download the Steam. So the Steam Deck right here, so you could like download it like that, or this one. It is like actually the extension of our Steam Deck OS. So this is Steam OS in a box. Okay, so if you want to download it, just click right here. You have all the options if you want to have the Flatpak or the Tumbleweed. Okay, so let me close that one. So that's about it for our operating system, which is the OpenSUSE Tumbleweed, which means it is a cutting edge, and this is version July 18, 2025. It is stable and rolling release. Okay, so let me close that one. So conclusion and remarks. Installation is so easy. It is just like 10 minutes. It is just very easy to install. It is not like Windows that you are like constantly like asked and you have to be like wait for 3 hours to just complete everything, like from the drivers to the accelerators to the software blah updates. I actually use the KDE, so it feels like Windows. And user experience, it will be just ordinary. You just gonna look it up first. Of course, you gonna use the Firefox web browser, and of course just look for the information about OpenSUSE. Or you could also go right here into the welcome page, welcome app. There, the welcome app. So documentation, just click right here, and all those information you need right here. And of course, if you could not see what you are looking for, of course just ask me, write it in comments down below. Of course, you have also the YouTube channels of different Linux users. Okay, so let me close that one. So highly recommended. That is my remarks. Highly recommended for newcomers. It is so easy to use this one, especially it is rolling release. You don't need to install every time there is a new version, like if there is Windows 11, Windows 12, and so on and so forth. You have to install it right here in Tumbleweed, the OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. It is generally like continuously updating itself, so you don't need to like constantly ask yourself that you need to install. It is just working fine like after you install. Okay, update, of course, it will be also right here in the software update. There you could also click right here, automatic. Of course, if there is automatic, sometimes it will need to restart your computer, and you could also notify yourself like daily, weekly, monthly, or whatever. And then if you are asking after booting or immediately, well, for the recommended to maximize the system stability, it will be after the rebooting. But for me, I'm just okay with it. It's immediately. Okay, highly recommended. And if you have some questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Write it in the comments down below. Okay, how to shut down? It's just like in our Windows. You just click right here in the start menu button and then click shut down. If you're asking where is the volume, of course, just like in our Windows, we have the volume right here. You could swipe it up or down. Sometimes you could raise the volume max. Okay, now you could like reach above 100% like that. 150, that's Linux. You could always do that. For your adjustment of your brightness, you could like use this one. Okay, you could also set it if you wanted to. You could scroll up and down with your mouse at the same time. That's it for now for our OpenSUSE Tumbleweed. This is the version July 18, 2025. And you could always update this without any installing again and again and again some new operating system. Bye for now and see you in the next episode. I'm Blair, your computer science, math, and engineering teacher. Catch another episode next time. See you in the next adventure. Ciao. Shut down. Click right here. Okay, shut down.